Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is a little bonus reading. Us tarot readers, we tend to do monthly readings, career, singles, love, all of the readings, but we never really ask how you are. So this is a reading to really check in with where you're at right now, the deepest part of yourself, how you're doing, the conversations that you have inside that perhaps you don't let everybody in on. So let's really tap into this. Now, of course, it may not resonate with everyone, but let's see what comes out there for you. It's just a little bonus reading, a little quick check-in, and of course, as you can see, I'm back in my usual space, so it's good to be back, it's good to be home, and back with the energy. So let us see what is coming out for you there. Okay, now you'll notice that I'm doing only one deck, and that's so that we can get a really clear, crisp idea of what is going on right now. So this is basically a bit more of a simplicity kind of energy. And when you use one deck, it does kind of go really deep. It hits right at the mark. And I can see right now you've got the Hermit as your first card. So some of you really feel that you are fed up with the way things are going right now. Some of you may have withdrawn a little bit to really seek inner guidance. But also I feel with the Hermit energy, you're exhausted. Okay, so you may have decided to take a temporary time out, or you're yearning for one right now. With the Knight of Swords there, it tells me you're super busy at this moment in time. And a lot of you are actually connecting to your spiritual gifts. There's an energy here of caution as well, but we will tap into all of it to see what's going on there, because I'm getting like a juxtaposition of energy for you right now, which is really to be like on the go, on the move, really busy. I feel like you're really analytical. There's stuff you got to do. You have responsibilities and tasks that you need to adhere to. But at the same time, the 4 of Pentacles, some of you are like, you are craving security, stability, to be just in one place for a little while, to really like recharge, but also incorporate perhaps a little bit of travel. Excitement. It's trying to find the balance of life in the everyday. Now we've got the 7 of Cups here as well. So some of you have been feeling a little bit scattered in your energy. And, this could be that you've got many thoughts running through your mind, trying to discover the next steps on your path. But they want me to go one more. I was only going to take 6 cards, but actually my guides have asked me to go for a 7th card. So there you go. Let's get straight into it. Your first card there, the Hermit. So a very thoughtful phase for you, where you're really like checking in with yourself to see if you're on the right path, really listening to your heart at this time. But the Hermit rarely goes into the cave of life unless he is seeking inspiration, unless he feels a little bit jaded, a little bit tired, a bit world weary. And some of you may be feeling like, you're just needing some temporary time out in order to seek peace, inner calm. And, the Hermit energy is really all about regrouping, introspection. Something is on your mind right now. Some of you, your thoughts may have been racing about something, and you're just trying to find that inner peace, or even protect your inner peace at this time. Because a lot of the cards that you have, they seem a little bit like needing time to ground yourself. So you could have had a very busy period, or you're currently in a bit of a whirlwind of decision in your life about where you feel the next steps are, or all the tasks and responsibilities that you have on your shoulders, and you're just seeking that inner solace. Some of you may also have withdrawn briefly in order to work on projects, or really to seek inner counsel in order to know your mind or know yourself better. I also see that the majority of energy here is you're on an inner quest to spiritually evolve, get connected to your higher self. So some of you may have decided to either book yourself on a course of getting to know yourself better. So it could be a spiritual learning class, or it could even be, you know, like meditation. Some of you are thinking about spiritual retreats. These may not be things that you're doing right now. It could be something you're thinking about for the future, or thinking about, you know, booking next year, because I see an energy of planning right now for you. And some of you, you've already like been ahead of the curve and you've already planned these things, and you're looking forward to these events further down the line. Now, as you can see there, the Hermit is, you know, always having a lantern. So that is to protect your inner light. So some of you may feel that you're very exhausted, you're needing to recharge your batteries, but also you may feel that life has become a little bit same. So you're seeking, you know, a little bit more inspiration, a little bit more guidance, trying to find more spontaneity and fun in life, because the Hermit energy is a card of, you know, inward truth, being really honest with yourself and recognizing that the world is full of distractions that can try and throw us off course. These could be people as well. It doesn't have to just be the world at large. It's a very busy place right now, and you're trying to find your place in that and also find grounding. Now, I am picking up an energy for some of you, and this may not resonate with all of you. I feel some of you are looking at your friendship groups right now and how they're evolving, okay? And how you kind of like, there's just a bit of a disconnect going on here. So either you feel like you've disconnected from a certain group of people, you've withdrawn in order to find yourself, or you feel that perhaps they're not vibing with the path that you're on right now. I see a distance, okay? And some of you, you know, you're enjoying your solitary energy, but at the same time, and as I said, this may not resonate with everyone, but it's coming through there, so I have to mention it. Some of you may be feeling a little bit lonely or a little bit isolated in your circumstances. And with the Knight of Swords there, you're really trying to change the situation you find yourself in. But in order to change things, you need to know thyself in a deeper way, to really reconnect to your heart, to your inner sanctuary. So a lot of you are really trying to, you know your mind. I mean, of course you know your mind and you know your heart, but it has been difficult to find a way to a certain path. And I feel like you're looking at your options right now. The Four of Pentacles tells me that you're looking for the long term, you're looking for security. Three of Cups, if you're looking for soul tribe members, or you're trying to, you know, deepen your connection with friends that you feel that have been a little bit distant recently, I definitely see a coming together, a gathering. So for some of you with that Three of Cups there could be like some messages from people that you haven't heard from in a while, or you haven't seen in a while, and I see some sort of travel, or you meeting up with these people there. Four of Pentacles also is a card that reminds you that yes, life, it's busy, it's difficult. We have to ride that wave of life, and it's hard. Sometimes we're up and we're having a great time and we think, it's great, everything's amazing. And then other times there are flies in the ointment, let's put it that way. And we have to navigate those disappointments. And I feel like you've been on the go, and you are a fire element, so you need to keep life interesting and busy. And some of you may feel, and this has come up a lot in some of the Sagittarian readings, some of you may have felt in the last couple of years that your wings have been clipped in some way, or something has changed about your life, and it's made you wiser, but it's also made you think in a very different way. And I get a sense here of you just feeling a little bit exhausted with the way things have been in your current circumstances, and something needs to change. And those changes are coming for you. And I definitely see there is cause for celebration. There is an energy here of sharing, you know, thoughts, exciting conversations, celebrating something actually. So there could be some sort of major event. I mean, it could be like a celebration, a feast, you know, a birthday, wedding, or, you know, even a house party. I see invitations coming in for you. So if you are someone who's been feeling a little bit like on the outside, looking in at different areas of your life, and you're trying to find your place right now, I definitely see that you're going to find your soul tribe, or even reconnect to people that you haven't seen for quite some time. And it just, you know, changes your vibration. Now, you do have the High Priestess there. Now, some of you, and you know, this is not going to resonate with all of you again, but I'm picking up a really deep energy of some of you thinking about maturing as we get older, you know, deepening our belief system, really looking at, you know, our choices in life and connecting to our sense of purpose and really, you know, connecting to our true north. So some of you are seeking, you know, inspiration, but also a very spiritual path at this time. And spiritual doesn't always have to be about spiritual realms or religion or anything like that. It's really about your inner sanctity, your inner peace, your inner resolve, things that you want to do, having a bit of a wake-up call to really, you know, hone your intuition and be guided by your heart. And I definitely see that you are being guided to focus on your goals right now. But also with that Knight of Swords, I feel like you're someone who's had to be very courageous in your life. And you may have found yourself in very difficult, and for some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have even found yourself in situations where there is hostility. You know, there may have been some sort of conflict recently that you're just trying to protect your inner sanctuary, or you're trying to withdraw in order to just find peace. Whatever it is you've been going through, I definitely see that you reach your goal, and there's going to be a time where there's more fun, excitement, spontaneity, and celebration. And I also see some of you are working on something. This could be a project. It doesn't have to be like an inner project or a personal project. It could be something work-related. It could be something, you know, that you want to do in and around the home space, because I see a lot of you are also focused on the home. There may have been some deep worries, perhaps, about conflict, or deep worries about something that you're trying to achieve right now. You will achieve it. Okay, the goal will be realized, and really there is nothing to worry about there. Now also the High Priestess, it's a very deep card to get 2 major arcana cards here for your protagonist energy. So it's almost like you're living a life of stillness right now. You may feel that things have changed. Something has definitely changed within you, and you're trying to reconnect to that part of yourself that is a little bit more on the move, perhaps, you know, or more adventurous. I definitely see you blossoming in the next coming months and really connecting to the sense of purpose, of really reigniting that passion, that lust for life, that joie de vivre. The High Priestess can be a card of caution as well. So some of you, you know, with the Hangman here, some of you may feel like, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, there's this energy of, is life passing me by? Are there things on my list that I really want to do? And how do I get myself in a position to do them? So I really feel this sense of time being a factor. They're actually showing me a clock in the water right now. Now, it could be that, thank you so much, I'm truly grateful. I'm being shown someone like, moving the time on a clock. So it could be that some of you are literally looking at some of the clocks. I mean, depending on where you are, time zones did change recently, like clocks going forward or backwards, depending on where you are, I guess. But I think they went forward. So some of you may be just like, oh, I didn't change that clock, or I didn't change, or, you know, so I feel it could be like something really simple that you're literally doing as you're listening to this reading, or it could be like a reminder. But when I'm being shown a clock, it can indicate that some of you have deadlines, or you have tasks and responsibilities that you have to adhere to, and you're trying to find time for you, and you're trying to find time for meditation or to calm your inner thoughts there, and really, you know, have faith that whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, that you will reach your goal. But your last card, and my guides wanted me to give you that last card, which is unusual because I only wanted 6, but there is something brighter to come. There is something to celebrate. You know, I definitely see you will not be disappointed with the trajectory of how things are working out for you there as well. Okay. Now we do have the Knight of Swords, busy mind. You know, you've got a lot of thoughts going on right now. Perhaps there's something on your mind specifically that you're trying to work out, find a solution to. You will find that solution. The Knight of Swords is an energy of adapting to change. And I definitely see something within you has changed, but you've had to adapt to a lot of changes. And I feel it may have been a little bit overwhelming, and you're just trying to ground yourself now in those changes. And I also feel like life is going to pick up pace. Things are going to get a little bit busier. You know, you're not the sort of person with the Hangman there who, you know, wastes time. You know, you don't want to waste time, but you may have felt there's this stillness in your world. And it's really interesting because I did a 3-card pick for the solar eclipse yesterday, actually on the day of the solar eclipse, just to tap into the energy. It was very interesting for me. But what came up in one of the pick of cards, I think it was in the second, card pile 2. I probably shouldn't say that because if you do watch it, you know, you don't want to be drawn to it just because you heard this. But anyway, I was given an energy by my guides that sometimes, you know, life is really busy. We've got goals, we have things we want to accomplish, and suddenly a brick wall appears and we can't move forward, or a door that we wanted to open closes in our face and we're like, what? Why is this happening to me? And it feels really disappointing. It feels like we've been let down by the universe. It just feels like a struggle. And in that reading, I was given this energy that was really profound and gives me goosebumps when I think about it right now. Have you ever thought that those, you know, walls appearing or the doors closing were to give us a rest and say, lean on me? I've sent you this brick wall right now for you to lean on because you're forcing the energy, or you're really trying so hard. You need a break. Just pause, and then the right door is going to open. Pause, and then the brick wall will disappear. You need to recharge your batteries. So I feel some of you, you've been in a period of stillness, in pause, and there is always purpose in pause, okay? Because it helps you know the way without rushing into anything, and, you know, not missing anything, shall we say. So I definitely see that life is going to pick up pace for you, but you're learning about balance with the Hangman and the Knight of Swords. Know when to act, know when to pause, know when to rest. Some of you have been dealing with your life being turned upside down. It's very different than when it was about 3-4 years ago or 2 years ago. I feel things are so different right now, and you've been adapting to a lot of changes. But I feel it's going to bring you this level of security. It's going to give you options. It's going to allow you to manifest more. Wherever the direction you're heading in, you will celebrate it. You will not be disappointed. Okay? If you feel like there's been any moment in your life where you had a missed opportunity, whether this was a relationship, whether it was a job opportunity, whether it was, you know, a property, if you're trying to buy real estate and suddenly the house that you really wanted or the apartment you really wanted was outbid and it went to somebody else. These are signs from the universe. This is not meant for you. There is something better ahead. Trust the process. So I feel like you've been learning that as well, having faith, and you've been, you know, learning a lot of lessons. There's so much wisdom about you. And I always used to say this, and I'm being given it again, you know, Sagittarius, the beginning of the word, you know, the root of the word is sage. You came to this lifetime with a lot of knowledge, and that is a blessing and a curse because you have high intuition and you're developing your spiritual gifts and your intuition even further now. But that knowingness comes at a price because, of course, knowledge is power, but also it means you see things that other people don't see, and it can make you feel a little bit jaded. You know, it may rob you of sparkle, shall we say, sometimes when you can see the truth of a situation that perhaps other people cannot see. So I feel like you're trying to reconnect to your higher self, you know, look at life from a different angle and almost like reignite the sparkle. And I definitely see that's happening for you, okay? I feel life is going to get a little bit more adventurous. I feel with the Hangman energy in this position, you know, that although life has been turned upside down a little bit, I feel like you will ground yourself. And, you know, there's also an energy here of some sort of delay or an indecision. You know, what is meant for you will never pass you by. So if, for example, you're in a situation you have to make a decision right now, withdrawing is really good in order to focus on hearing your heart, because we've built a very, very loud world for ourselves. Our phone pings all the time. There's information bombarded at us. There's traffic, there's airplanes, there's, you know, crazy, you know, weather. Everything's really loud. So taking space for yourself is so important, to disconnect in order to know your mind and your heart. And remember, the heart whispers, but it does say something very important. And I feel right now, if you're having to make a decision, withdrawing in order to hear your heart and visualize yourself, which is really important with the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is imagine yourself in each situation. So if you have to make a decision, say for example, you've got 3 options, imagine yourself and the life that you will be living in each of those options. Don't think about how you feel about it now. Imagine the life it can offer you by being in that circumstance. Remember, manifestation is all about seeing yourself like you're living it right now, because that's telling the universe this is what you are here to live. You have it now. It's already happened in the future. So you're tapping into it so that it can be in the present. So it's really important for you to really visualize what it is you want, because, you know, we can kind of like have an idea of a goal we want to achieve, but we really need to live in it in our imaginations to really see it almost like a film screen, you know, in our minds. And some people, of course, can't tap into that, but, you know, really having an idea of how you might feel living that option or that choice. And if your heart starts to really swell with joy and excitement, like, that's it, that's really what I would want, and it feels more intense than the other 2 options, then your heart has spoken, and that's the way that you're being called to follow. And I definitely see that you have a lot of options being opened up to you. Now, also, the 7 of Cups can indicate that, you know, you have a healthy dose of imagination, because you need a very vivid imagination in order to manifest. But also, all your plans, they are grounded in reality, because the 4 of Pentacles indicates whatever you can think of in your mind. With the 4 of Pentacles there, this indicates you can have it on the physical plane. So, you know, all your visions come to life because you work really hard for it. So whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, whether you're retired or not, whatever you are visualizing, you're going to make it become a reality on your earthly plane. And there really is nothing to worry about. Of course, we can get a little bit anxious from time to time, but remember, fear, you know, it is a very temporary energy, but we have to ask ourselves, is there something we can do to change our circumstances that we're worried about? And if the answer is no, then, you know, that fear, that energy, it's just exhausting you, it's draining you. You can channel that energy into something more positive that you can change. And of course, if you can change a circumstance that you're a little bit worried about, then change it, take action. So I feel here that it's not that you're tapping into fear. I feel like you're cautious about making some moves or the next steps of something that you're trying to decide, but you're going to make the right decision because you've withdrawn to listen to your heart, okay? Now, also the 7 of Cups can indicate some of you, your emotions have been fluctuating or your hormones have been fluctuating. With the Knight of Swords, I would definitely say that you are deciding to take action in order to investigate it a little bit further. You know, swords are all about information, the mind, the knowingness. So I definitely see that some of you may actually cut something out that has been triggering, you know, this sense of feeling a little bit of brain fog, or maybe that you've got a lot on your mind right now and you're trying to just make sense of it all, and it will help you by stepping back from it in order to see the bigger picture. But the 4 of Pentacles indicates security, okay? It's a sense of control, gaining control. So if you felt a little bit out of control recently, that things seem to be, you know, sometimes we build a schedule. This is what I'm being given by my guides. Sometimes we have a schedule. Now, humans, we like to know where we're at, right, to some degree. Of course, we like to go off and have adventures, but we feel we're in control of those adventures. We like to go out there and just have fun and see where it goes, but ultimately we've chosen to go out there. But sometimes when we build a schedule, sometimes the schedule can rule us. So I feel some of you are really looking at the structures that you have in your life right now in order to free yourself up a little bit more. So if you have a lot of responsibilities, like, I don't know, I'm just going to pull this out of the hat. Like on Tuesdays, you do a certain thing, then on Thursdays you have a certain thing. If you work Monday to Friday as well, perhaps you have your job, and you know, if you're retired, for example, perhaps you have family responsibilities that you adhere to, or projects, personal projects that you adhere to on certain days of the week, and you may feel beholden to those things. So suddenly, you know, you're not doing things that perhaps you'd love to just spontaneously run off and do. You're looking at like things that you have to do and how you can fit what you really want to do in and around that. And it can feel a little bit frustrating sometimes. So I feel some of you are trying to, you know, restructure your schedule in some way, or you're trying to find balance in your world, because I feel, you've been keeping your nose down, focusing on your projects and your responsibilities. So you're trying to flip it a little bit there. Also, the Four of Pentacles is long-term. So a lot of you are thinking for the long-term plans, and, whatever it is you are working towards, you will celebrate it. You will toast yourself and be really proud of yourself. And actually the people around you will toast you as well. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that you're really close to who actually are going to celebrate this win that is coming in for you there as well. Okay. Now, the Four of Pentacles also indicates not only a desire for long-term security, but you're looking at your home space, you're looking at your foundation where you feel like you belong right now. So I definitely see some of you wanting to plant roots. And I just feel there's been a lot of concentration on something. So I feel like you're tunnel vision on either making a decision, or you're really focusing on stability, on stagnancy as well, because the Four of Pentacles can be, sometimes we are bogged down by our schedule, as I said, or things that we have to do. And, for example, if you're saving for an apartment, or a property, and you want to purchase something large, you may decide, I've got to save a certain amount of money, and I'm not going to go out there and have fun and spend it on fun because I want to purchase something really serious. So life is all about balance, and it's really hard. So you may be looking at finding things that don't cost money that you can do to go out and have fun. But, sometimes I know myself, especially when you got bills to pay, suddenly the money comes into your account, the bills have snatched it all up, and you're like, oh, I'm left with this much, and that's going to feed me and my family. And then you're like, okay, it's going to be a little bit harder to sort of go out there and have fun, as it were. So I feel some of you are really trying to structure your world. I mean, because the Four of Pentacles is there, some of you could be looking at budgets, financial budgets at this time, and really trying to be cautious with your finances or stick to a budget. But I feel more than anything, you're really trying to find your place or find inner peace there as well. Also, I feel like you're trying to visualize a new path or a new reality for yourself. So this could be attached to your goal, but whatever it is, you will celebrate it. Three of Cups is a time of frivolity, of spending time with good people, reestablishing friendships, but also it's a time of celebration. So I definitely see joy and laughter and relief. So if you're worried about anything here, there is a relief, almost like I did it, or it went the way I hoped for. So I can see here that there are better times that lie ahead. Now, some of you are actually trying to either establish yourself more in a community. So you may be, connecting to soul tribe members, or you may be thinking about group activities, going to the gym, picking up a hobby, going on a course of learning at this time. But I feel like you're looking to advance yourself. There's this advancement energy. If you're in a career, I mean, this reading's really not meant to be about that, but if you're in a career, I do see a position with stable money coming in for you. If you've been searching for a job, if you've been a little bit, worried because the job market has been very difficult. So if you are searching for opportunity, I feel the right one is coming in for you. And that's why you've almost been in limbo or on pause, because the right opportunity needed to be made available to you. And I definitely see that actually there's a couple of options coming in, but there's one really exciting job where you're going to be a little bit more independent. I feel like you've got a lot of experience that will, really connect to this role. And I feel, it's very fast paced, but you'll really enjoy it, and it is for your highest good. And I feel, it's a very positive role where you really get on as a team with people. And I do feel it's a solid amount of money coming in as well, but it gives you options to actually, work your way up the ladder in that role as well. So I definitely see there's something really good coming there. And for those of you who are, an independent worker or an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, if you've been worried about the job market and how things have been going, I definitely see things are going to pick up pace. I see here that some of you may be restructuring the way that you work or the hours that you work in order to have a little bit more time back in order to see a bigger picture, because I'm seeing like you branching out and doing different things or looking at things differently. I feel what you're doing is awesome, okay? But what I see here is you may approach it in a different way, and it may be to do with your time. And it actually starts to pick up. I definitely see new clients or new energy in your career, and it brings in a solid amount of money there too. So that is coming through. And of course, if you're retired, I feel like, you know, finding a place in a community. Some of you may be thinking about traveling, seeing new places, and you're looking at your finances to make it work. I actually see some of you purchasing property abroad as well, potentially. So there's going to be a lot of options there, but I actually see that you're going to find one that's really in your budget, and you get a lot more than what you thought. Okay, so I'm seeing that there too. Now let's move forward and get a final card for you to see what else is coming out there. Now, as I said, this is just a really quick check-in for you. True love will find you in the end. Okay, now of course, love did not show up in the energy here. I mean, for some of you with the Hermit energy and the High Priestess, there is this energy of things, you know, life moving on and you maturing, and solitary energy. So if you are looking for love, I definitely see here with the Three of Cups that you're going to be invited to more places. I feel like you could meet a person where there is community energy. So it could be a party that you're invited to, a wedding, or it could be, you know, your friends ask you to go on a vacation, perhaps, or there's some sort of group activity that you go to. It could be that hobby, or it could be even at the gym. I'm not really picking up strong gym vibes for this one, I have to be honest. I feel it's more that you're out having fun with friends, or you're doing something that you love. And I feel, you know, it's going to put you in the path to meet someone who actually has a really fast-paced lifestyle. But I see that you're making some major lifestyle changes yourself, and this person has gone through something that you're going through right now. And I feel the way that you'll know this person, they actually start to try and give you some advice, okay? And it is advice that comes up in a conversation. They're not trying to micromanage you or tell you how to run your life, or, you know, explain how you should be living. But I feel it comes up, and they actually really are honest about trying to give you the advice that they've experienced, you know, and they give it in a very open way where you can take it or not, but there's a commonality there, okay? So we have that true love will find you in the end. Now, of course, those two figures are astronauts, so this can indicate going outside your usual typical circumstances, you know, exploring beyond the periphery of the life that you have built for yourself right now. So it could be that you're traveling, or that you are going to an event in an area where you haven't been before, if you're looking for love. So don't worry about that. I mean, even your next card is don't worry, you know, and I picked up this energy of, you know, there's nothing to worry about. Things are going to go in your favor. But it says here, don't worry about what could go wrong. If something does go wrong, you'll be able to make the best out of it. But I don't see anything going wrong here. All your cards are really positive. I definitely see change. I definitely see decisions that you have to make. You're going to make the right one that's right for your heart, and you will celebrate. So whatever it is you're trying to action, don't worry about it. Just go for it. Of course, with the Knight of Swords there, you're doing your due diligence. You're investigating the way before you rush into anything. I feel like you're not rushing into anything. I feel like you are being very clever about the decisions that you're making, and you will always make the best out of it because you're a fire element. You're really passionate. You're intense. You're really fun to be with, and I feel a lot of you, especially with the Hermit and the High Priestess, you're learning to live in the present moment. Because the past, it's an illusion. It no longer exists. And of course, we can't revisit it. We can only remember it in order to process experiences that we had, in order to let go of them, learn from them, and not allow them to influence our future happiness. And of course, the future, it hasn't happened yet. So we can't really live there either. We can visualize what we have right now as like a future kind of thing. What I mean by that is visualization. Visualize the lifestyle that you want, like you have it now, and it shall be so. But also, there's more peace to live in the present moment. This is where you're at right now. You can't be there, you can't be somewhere else. You're here right now, and in that is a breath of fresh air. So I feel like you're trying to live in the moment, and you're going to find more joy there as well. But there is something really exciting to celebrate down the line. So let me just get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, we've got 2 trinkets here. Interesting. We've got the butterfly. Now, the butterfly, of course, it indicates a time of change, transformation. And I always say this, so, maybe fast forward this bit if you've heard it. But when the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, it doesn't just, snuggle up in the chrysalis and one day get wings and be like, wow, I got these wings, I'm going to fly. It's amazing. It actually dissolves its whole form. It gets lost. It loses its sense of self. And some of you may have been going through that process of stillness right now because you're transforming and you're making some major changes. And in order to make these changes, we need to be still. We need to, take stock of the situation before we move forward. And I definitely see that, you're about to spread your wings and fly. And I definitely see also that you're going to enjoy the moment. Now, we also have 2 swans here. Okay, now they are head-to-head forming heart. And, of course, this indicates true love coming in for you. But also, for those of you who are already partnered up, it can indicate that there's been changes in your relationship and you're learning more about each other and you are going to have more fun, some sort of change that you are trying to implement in your relationship, or where you and your partner live could be a factor here as well. And it's just going to bring more peace, more love, and deepen the connection between you both. I mean, for some of you, your partner could surprise you, on a trip and, pop the question if you're at that stage in your relationship. But also I see moving away from love. This is about your connection, the oneness between people, and how hard it is to find people who are genuine. So I feel like you're holding on to genuine friendships when you find them. Also the swan, I love all animals, but the swan, so graceful, glides really gracefully through the water. Makes it look easy, but actually when you look underneath the surface, you see their little web feet going crazy, trying to paddle and navigate their way through the water, and sometimes against the tide. And I feel some of you, it feels like you've been moving against the tide, and you make it look graceful. Your successes, other people look at them like it's easy, but all the hard work, the dedication, the blood, sweat, and tears that you've been through to get to where you are right now. And some of you, not all of you, of course, but some of you may have felt like you've been in survival mode, that things have changed and you're trying to find your way back to a time where there are happier moments, or a time where, you can go out there, enjoy yourself, and be back in the flow and the dance of life. And that is happening for you. So I definitely see a reconnect there too, okay? I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Sagittarians. As I said, it's just a quick bonus reading to check in, so I hope it does resonate in some way. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.